This is Joshua Hart here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Hall of Fame promoter Frank Warren here in Manchester. Frank, the launch press conference, it's official. Derek Chisora's last dance in the UK as he takes on Otto Wallin. How delighted are you just to get this over the line for Derek, first of all?
I'm really delighted about that, Josh. You know, it's his 49th fight. He wants to get the magical fifth to the magical 50. To do that, he's got to win this one. And he's in with a guy who I think is going to give him a lot of problems in Otto Wallin. There's no easy jobs out there at this heavyweight division. And he fancies the job. He's got 2 losses on his record. One was against Tyson, and when he cut Tyson badly, he had 37 stitches. He went the distance with Tyson. And the other one was against AJ when his corner retired him in the corner. When AJ, for me, was that's probably one of the best AJs I've seen for a long, long time in that fight. Other than that, all wins. They know, both of them know what's going on in the heavyweight division. They can't afford to lose. They know if they want to, whoever comes through this is going to get yourself involved in a really big fight. So for Otto, he's got plenty of inspiration to move forward on this and come through. And as for Derek, the fact he is, as we call him in the trade, Mr. War, you get a war. Don't matter who he fights. I mean, if he fought the worst fighter in the world, he'd have a war with him. And this thing with Otto Wallin will be a war. And hopefully, and I want him to come through because I want to see him to get to that 50th fight.
If Derek is to lose this fight, will we see that magical 50, or could that be him done?
I think it depends how you lose a fight, doesn't it? But it would take the gloss off it. There's no doubt about that.
And then obviously,
this is his last fight in the UK, so he wants to win his last fight before the British public. He's given a lot to boxing as a fighter. He's never come up short in the ring as far as grit and determination, and he deserves a good send-off in Britain.
We know that there was a lot of reports saying that it could have been Jerome Miller next for Derek Chisora, and then Jerome Miller put out a video stating that the fight is off, he won't be getting it due to ongoing issues with Dimitri Salito. What do you make of that, first of all? Well,
look, it's a great fight. If it could have been made, it can't. It's irrelevant now. It's not going to happen, and we've got to focus on what we have got. It's totally irrelevant to what we're here for today. We're here today for a fight that's going to happen, and it's a good fight that's going to happen.
How close was the fight with Jerome Miller, though?
It was. If we could have made it, we'd have made it, but it couldn't be made, so it's gone.
And what was it about Otto Wallin that made him the next choice in line for Derek's opponent?
He's a good fighter. He comes to fight. And he's got a good record. And as I say, styles make fights. And when I say that, I always know that it's going to be a decent fight, and this will be a more than decent fight.
We've seen Matchroom this week put a huge PR effort into bringing big-time boxing back to Manchester, but you will be the first promoter to do a big show in Manchester next year. So what does that say?
Exactly what you just said. Exactly that. Well, yeah, we have, haven't we? That's a fact. But it wasn't about beating them. It's about putting a show together and doing it here. We want to, I many years ago, boxing in Manchester was dead, and we brought it back here and turned it into a boxing capital of the UK, with some really good fights and some good fighters, Ricky Hatton, for example. And we want to do the same again. This is a good main event. The undercard is a great undercard. There's some fabulous 50-50, again, wars on the card.
Were you guys close to signing Olympian Pat Brown, who's just gone and signed with Matchroom?
No, I don't think we were. I certainly never spoke with him.
Fair enough. Tyson Fury's made some comments recently in the media again, labelling Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois as very limited fighters. What do you make of those comments from Tyson?
Well, Tyson's entitled to his opinion. He's entitled to it. Tyson's is a great fighter. Has been a great fighter. He's been a great champion. He's in a big fight. He's in, he's probably the best heavyweight fighter this century. At that time for the 4 belts with him and Usyk. It was a fabulous fight. They're going to dance again on the 21st of December in Riyadh. I'm really looking forward to that. And we'll see him. I'm sure Daniel would have something to say about to anybody who says anything about him. Daniel's coming through now, and he's looking to establish himself, and he's got ambitions as well. But Tyson, for me, can come through this and re-establish himself as the best heavyweight in the world.
Have you spoke to Tyson recently while he's been in camp?
Yeah, I spoke to him. I speak to the camp every day. He's been He's really, really looking good. He's focused, very focused for this. It's something he wanted and something he's got.
We've seen some reports come out recently about the February 22nd card in Riyadh, and one of the fights that took a lot of interest is Zhile Zhang versus Ajit Kabayel. What was it about pulling Zhang from the final eliminator with Martin Piccoli to take him down the route to face Ajit Kabayel instead?
We will make the announcement on that fight when it's appropriate, or on that show, I should say, when it's appropriate. At this stage, nothing there to announce.
And just looking, obviously, we know the reported main event, Dubois Parker. Do you know roughly when we can get an announcement?
When it's announced, when the event's announced. The event at the moment, there's lots of things that got to be sorted out, and there are lots of fights to be sorted out. It's that, that was very premature.
And just lastly, we've seen the report this morning that UKAD will not be appealing Conor Benn's clearance to fight.
Yeah.
What do you make of that?
What it is, if they're not appealing it, they're not repealing it for a reason.
Are you excited to see Conor Benn back in the ring?
Yeah, I'd love to see him back in. There's some good fights to be made for him.
Frank, thank you very much for your time. Cheers.
Bye, Frank.